Hello there to our International Commission family. It's really good to be with you today. Chris Kilby here from Southampton. And often when I go out for my daily walk, I walk through a cemetery on my way to Southampton Common. And there's one particular headstone there that always catches my eye. And it was a young man who was out for a walk on Southampton Common and was struck by lightning and was killed on the spot. 1 minute he was there, the next minute he was not. And in these days, death seems so close, doesn't it? We've recently had 2 members of our own family who have sadly died because of COVID. And so this is really up front and in our face at the moment. And when I think of the imminence and the closeness of death in these kind of days, it reminds me of our responsibility with the gospel. And that's what I want to just share with you just for a few moments today, for you and I to be more alertly and acutely aware of our responsibility with the gospel. We often think of the gospel, don't we, as a divine message from God, some kind of message of power that brings life and salvation to those who believe. We often refer to it using that old English term, God's spell, good news. It's good news. And it is all those things. It is a message from God. It is a power message, and it is good news, but it's also a responsibility and an entrustment. John Calvin, the great reformer, he said the gospel doesn't fall from the sky like rain by accident, but it comes from the hands of men to whom God has sent it. So whilst it is all those other things, a divine message, a power message, it is good news. To those of us who have believed, it is also an entrustment, a holy entrustment. And we've been trusted by God to give it away, to discharge it. In Romans 1 verse 14, Paul spoke of his obligation to preach the gospel. He said, I'm obligated to the Greeks and the non-Greeks. He felt that entrustment. He saw it as a holy responsibility. And that word, obligation, is translated from the Greek word ophelio, which literally means to owe something, to be in debt to someone. It's got that notion of holding on to an IOU that needs to be discharged and honoured. Now, the thing is, I know we are strong in grace as a movement, so I don't in any way want you to see the gospel as something that you need to share out of some kind of religious duty. That's not the point at all. But I do want us in these difficult days to appreciate the weight of the entrustment. You and I have been entrusted with the message that brings life. Not the politicians, not the doctors, not the social commentators, but you and I, saints in the local church. And I want to urge you today, discharge that debt. And together, let's see God turn the tide in the nations as life after life is rescued. God bless you.